G'day, good morning. Governments, they're attacking Bitcoin. They are trying to stop you exiting their sinking boat, and Bitcoin, it surged over $70,000, and the London Stock Exchange is ready to accept Bitcoin exchange traded notes. We're going to dive into that. There's some pretty cool things going on. Obviously, we need to dive into the attacks that are happening at the moment. We'll dive into this price action. It is looking nice and bullish. V4BTC, that's Tony the Bitcoin way. They're the problem that Bitcoin fixes permanently. What we saw over the weekend, pretty ironic, eh? So they want to ban Bitcoin mining in a roundabout way to be able to produce more corn, of all things. And now, as we know, corn is a code word for Bitcoin. So maybe they are really bullish on Bitcoin, but this is what's happened. Bitcoin is a worldwide problem, says Iceland Prime Minister Katrine. And they want to get rid of it. So diving into it, we'll just race through. Iceland Prime Minister pledges renewable energy shift from Bitcoin mining to agriculture. In an interview with the Financial Times, Prime Minister, let's say Karine, outlined her vision, emphasizing the importance of enhancing food independence and establishing a broader grid for renewable energy distribution across households and industries. So Iceland, they produce a lot of electricity with the population over only 370,000. They're not producing a whole lot of food. It's like 1% of its grain, 43% of its vegetables domestically, underscoring the need for agricultural development to enhance food security and reduce dependency on imports. Greatest thing about that is they can use Bitcoin and the heat generated from miners to be able to help grow it in an icy region there. We'll see. I don't think that's going to actually play out. I don't think they're going to mine. And reading through it more and more and more, it sounds like they're not going to change what they're doing currently, but when they build out more wind, specifically, the Bitcoin miners won't have access to that. So we'll see what happens in that. Now, the EU, this is pretty big, hey, back and forth. Crypto Twitter X blew up with the EU anti-money laundering laws, ban provision of service for anonymous cryptocurrency accounts. Currently, it's not as bad as what is going around. I just want to shout out to everyone that is watching live. It is good to see you again. It is good to be live. If you can smash that like button, greatly appreciated. You're all legends out there. It's definitely not as bad currently as what it has sounded like over the weekend on X. However, these things, they happen slowly. It's called the totalitarian footstep. They put processes in place one by one by one to be able to lock you up into the future. It's not about what they want to do today. These people here, they have a 5, a 10, a 15, a 20, a 30, 50, 100-year plan to enslave humanity. And whatever way, Bitcoin's not stopping. They're just excluding themselves from Bitcoin. So obviously hold Bitcoin in self-custody in a cold wallet. We can dive into that. But they're going to try. They're going to go after it. At the moment, they're not. It's not as bad as what it sounds, but I'd still be wary of anything that is coming out that is trying to put restrictions on what you do with your digital cash, full stop. We're going cashless in Australia, and they're dramatically cutting down. So a new set of AML laws passed by the EU has banned crypto asset service providers from servicing, providing custody to anonymous cryptocurrency accounts. The approved proposal for the prevention of the use of the financial system for the purpose of money laundering or terrorist finance. Always money laundering or terrorist financing, isn't it? Alleges these assets present risks of misuse for criminal purposes. So carrying on, the EU has toughened its stance on anonymous cryptocurrency accounts and privacy-enhancing cryptocurrencies. The proposal for the prevention and the use of the financial system for the purpose of money laundering or terrorist financing bans cryptocurrency service providers from providing service and custody for anonymous crypto assets. So their justification for this decision, the proposal states that the anonymous characteristics of crypto assets expose them to misuse or risk of misuse for criminal purpose, and that these do not allow the traceability of crypto asset transfers. These measures do not apply to hardware or software providers. That's good. That's why you want to be in self-custody. And providers of unhosted wallets that do not have direct control of the crypto asset wallets of their users. Please get your Bitcoin into self-custody. That should be the biggest takeaway yesterday. Now, Patrick, we're going to dive into it. He destroyed quite a lot of the FUD, a little bit of the fear that was going on around that. This is, I'll show you. Look, it's 10 long in regards to the thread here. So I've reposted it at Sean Clark 911. Oh, sorry, keeps on going. 15, 16, 17, 19. It's number 10 that I wanted to read out for everyone. Therefore, you will be able to use your self-custody wallets for buying goods, services in the EU without any restrictions. For now, make the most of it. Definitely get that Bitcoin into self-custody. And the reason why, CBDCs, they are coming. We're going to dive into the price. Actually, let's dive into the price straight away. We've got it here. We've got the beautiful $70,698.69 this morning there. You need to be quick because it goes quick. But if we bring up the block clock, we may need a little bit of a refresh. But 836,273, and we do have the rest there. The next halving, wow. We're at 3,727 blocks to go. Progress 98.23% of the way there. Block time 10 minutes and 5 seconds. TikTok. Next block, we got a new block 836,274. I like Bitfeed when it does it like this. It celebrates, and it is absolutely glorious. The hash rate, massive, 594.3 exahashes there in the background as well. Again, shout out to everyone that is watching live, that's watching the replay. You're all legends. So this is a video from the president of the Federal Reserve Bank in Minneapolis. Neil admits that CBDCs don't solve any actual problems other than enabling central banks to monitor all transactions and deduct taxes directly from people's accounts. This is what he keeps saying here, but let's actually listen to what he has to say. It's amazing. It's incredible that they still are trying to go after this when so many people are seeing through, even the presidents of their own Federal Reserve. Let's get it.
Can't do. And all I get is a bunch of hand waving. I get a bunch, well, maybe it's better for financial inclusion. Maybe it's better for cross-border remittances. Maybe. Is there any evidence that it is? And, they say, well, what about China? China's doing it. Well, I can see why China would do it. If they want to monitor every one of your transactions, you could do that with the central bank digital currency. You can't do that with Venmo. If you want to impose negative interest rates, you could do that with the central bank digital currency. You can't do that with Venmo. And if you want to directly tax customer accounts, you could do that with the central bank digital currency. You can't do that with Venmo. So I get why China would be interested. Why would the American people be for that?
Yeah, how good is that? Just really quickly, I just want to shout out to everyone there that is in the chat this morning. Jan, Time Chain, VT, OPD, Lucky Redfish, Gargoyle, Jan again, Keith, Johnny, Dracula, Gargoyle, as always. Habib, good to see you, brother. It was such a pleasure, my man. If you know, you know. Chris, do something, do anything. Good to see everyone in the house. Rex owner, right? Lucky Red Fish. There was one here that I saw that was really cool. It's super great. Comment, Keith, we've been front running BlackRock for a year. Let him pump our bags. It's pretty cool. In reality, we've really been front running Wall Street for however long you've been in here for. But for Bitcoin's entire history, it's pretty miraculous. And for the everyday person to be able to get in before the big boys get in, that's fantastic. Real quick shout out to today's sponsor, the Bitcoin Way. This team is absolutely amazing. I've spoken to a lot of people now that have gone through the Bitcoin Way process, really helped them sleep easy at night. I've used it myself, absolutely amazing. That's why I am working with them. They can help you master your Bitcoin self-custody. Safe doing it, Moose. Obviously, the author of the Bitcoin Standard, top G in the house. The Bitcoin Way is a service I've always wanted. These guys can really help you out with a lot of things. Learn about air-gapped wallets. If you need to just take your security to the next level, set up cold storage, run your own node, keep your Bitcoin private, plan for the future using multi-sig and so much more. Super easy. You just reach out. I've put a link at the top of the description. The first 30 minutes is free. Just get on, have a chat, and find out if you are doing the best practices. If you're not, go through it and sleep easy at night. Super simple, super great team. Very thoughtful, very reliable, 35 years cybersecurity experience. So shout out to those guys. They're absolutely incredible. Simply Bitcoin's posted this. This is crazy. So the money printing is here. It's coming. They are going to lower interest rates. and it's going to keep on going. So the House approved a 1.2 trillion spending package Friday hours before a midnight government shutdown. There are no bailouts with Bitcoin. And this is a visual representation. It just keeps on going. We will not play that music this morning. Simon Picala in the House. And it just keeps going. That's 100 billion. Wow. Isn't that crazy? And they just hit these keyboards and bang. Look at that. 1 trillion, baby. It used to be $1 million, and then it went to $1 billion, and now it's 10 trillion freaking dollars. It's Bitcoin's that life raft, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't been in Bitcoin for a long time, welcome. It is so good to have you here. Just buy, stack, and chill as much Bitcoin as you possibly can now and forever, because Bitcoin is going up forever. I know that sounds a little bit full on, but please just read the Bitcoin. Look, I got 2 copies of Beers for Bitcoin. Both of them are signed copies from Daz B. Crypto Sovereignty, Eric Kaysen. If you've been Bitcoin for a while, you've read at least 5 or 6 Bitcoin books, read this book here. It's absolutely amazing. Eric Kaysen, it's wild. If you're new to Bitcoin, just leave it a while. Leave it a couple of years. Read some of these books. Beers for Bitcoin, great way to get started. Next book in the series. Not in the Beers for Bitcoin series, but the next one you're reading series. Anyway, read the books or eat the bugs. But if you're here now, well done. Just stack as hard as you possibly can. It's irresponsible not to, because they just keep printing money. They're going to keep debasing the dollar. So there are a lot of things happening. Marty Bent, TFTC, YouTube channel, what a guy, hey. I wouldn't be surprised if the recent Bitcoin bull run or the run is being accelerated by a quiet liquidity crisis unfolding throughout the banking sector. BTFP was a temporary band-aid that was just ripped off and the structural problem still exists. People may be fleeing for the exit. Had a joyous occasion, and yes, I have started a separate bank account with a different provider because the commies block you. After $10,000, you get a nice email. Sick of getting these emails. Have multiple bank accounts. My wife's with a different bank provider, so it's been fine. Need to be able to access my own bucks whenever I need to go into the world's hardest asset, and you can't do that with the commies bank over here in Australia. Now, something's happening around the world. Oil about to do a cocoa, and hopefully I've got it there. They are looking at slashing the production, which is going to push up the price hardcore. Now, the London Stock Exchange to launch a new market for the Bitcoin exchange traded notes. That's on May 28. Can you just bear with me for 2 secs? I just want to change this screen over to this one. There we go. Everybody is waking up to the power of Bitcoin, even if they're just getting into it for the fees. Absolutely massive. You cannot stop an idea whose time has come. Inevitably, people will see it on the London Stock Exchange, see BlackRock, and then they're not going to start reading that book. If they do, maybe they won't end up buying it long term. But if they start just reading the Bitcoin books after buying the ETF or the ETN and buy real Bitcoin, well, we're winning, ladies and gentlemen. That's how the revolution. So please go out there, keep talking to friends and family. Use name drop BlackRock. It's good. People in traditional finance or people that maybe are a little bit older or have been skeptical of Bitcoin for so long, when they hear BlackRock and BlackRock endorse it, they're like, oh, cool. So it's legit now. Yeah, it is legit. But hey, you're better to hold in self-custody, store it in cold storage, and have freedom. Please just keep orange pilling. Be that orange pill dispenser. Shout out, Chad. So GBDC sent 4.4K, 4,400 Bitcoin to its Coinbase premium account. Measly 300 million. So the GBDC sell-off continues still. However, if we jump back into the price, if we can get rid of that, we are still over 70,000, looking to go to 71,000. We'll see what the charts have done in the last 24 hours as well. Huge, huge pump up. Now, this is pretty cool. I'm not going to play all of it, but it's talking about how the Reserve Bank of Australia is both corrupted and treasonous. The line between fungibility and non-fungibility may be a thin one. Gold, now they're talking about gold and being fungible or non-fungibility. generally considered to be fungible because one gold ounce is equivalent to another gold ounce, but when otherwise fungible goods are given serial numbers or other uniquely identifying marks, they may no longer be quite as fungible. Adding unique numbers to bars of gold, collectibles, and other items makes it possible to distinguish them, which makes them non-fungible. I'll repost this here for everyone at Sean Clark 911, but I'd like us all to listen just to a little bit of it, and you'll understand the reason why.
You have disclosed that these serial numbers aren't for public disclosure. I'm curious as to know why you think the fact that these gold bars, many of the gold bars have been refined since 2015, despite the fact that Guy DeBale, former Deputy Governor of the RBA, said our gold bars had never moved, and yet here they are being refined, completely new again.
I won't dox you, but thanks so much for sharing this article last night with me. It's absolutely amazing putting that up on X. Appreciate it.
In 2015 up till latest 2020. Why do you think that the public shouldn't be made aware of this and see these serial numbers for themselves?
Well, Bitcoin fixes that because you can see everything on the blockchain. That's what's so unique about El Salvador, is putting their address, their public key for the world to see, to be able to jump on and look at what's happening on the time chain, which is the blockchain, which is Bitcoin, which is the truth chain, which is aligning the world back to truth. If we had the RBA publishing their gold serial numbers and we could see and we could audit it, they go on to say gold's fungible. We may lend out our gold and we may get a different ounce of gold back, but the weight is always the same. How do you know? They haven't put tungsten in the middle. Now, Joe's absolutely amazing. Payments to unhosted self-custody Bitcoin and crypto wallets are now illegal. Well, it looks like they're not, but how on earth are they going to police that? That's the point of this. They cannot stop an idea that has come. Bitcoin truly gives you that freedom in every area of your life. If you don't believe me, then read the other books, but then read this book. This dives into the freedom away from the panopticon and the nihilistic state that is tyrannically trying to control every part of your waking and sleeping life, everything about your soul. You can't stop Bitcoin if you hold it in self-custody. This is pretty cool. Tony's just trolling here. Irrelevant clowns at work. European Union bans anonymous Bitcoin payments over $3,000 to self-custody wallets. TikTok. Next block, ladies and gentlemen, wake up to the fact that whether you can still buy Bitcoin now or in a year, eventually you will not be able to. It'll be a lot harder. They are trying to close the on-ramps, the off-ramps. Please make the most of it. Now, Australia, we talked about it last week, but they are trying to ban cash. It looks like 2025. Now, remember, I couldn't say that I could verify it for October 2024. It looks like 2025. Carrie C, such a pleasure to meet you over at Bitcoin Alive. What a weekend that was. Got some really incredible podcasts dropping. So if you haven't already, and we vibe, hit subscribe. Michael Dunworth, Peter Dunworth, Eric Kaysen. I sat down with Eric Kaysen, Robbie P, the rapper. If you haven't already listened to Robbie P, please go onto YouTube after this video. Type in Robbie P or most Bitcoin Maxi song. I'll grab it. 2 secs. The most toxic Bitcoin Maxi. This is a vinyl. He gave me a vinyl. It was absolutely so sick. Anyway, check that out. That's some epic Bitcoin rap to be able to start or end your day. It's absolutely great. Anyway, study Bitcoin. It's your only hope and also a great solution to this problem, a superior savings vehicle. Sorry, I'm going on 2 tangents. Hit the subscribe button. These interviews that are dropping, DASB that's coming out, Paul talking about trust funds, absolutely incredible. Some really high-level conversations. So they'll be coming out. I'll send them off to that and then I'll get them out for everyone. But this is what Carrie is saying here. There goes cash. Australia will be functionally cashless by 2025. Let's load. Australia is rapidly heading towards a cashless society. How the ads, the banners, please go away. Oh, we got a little X in the corner. They make it tiny with one expert. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you get the point. Australia is rapidly, this website, news.com.au, you absolutely suck. Anyway, Australia is rapidly heading towards becoming a cashless society as banks crack down withdrawals, close ATMs and branches, ban cash altogether. with one expert predicting physical money will be completely gone by the end of the decade. I'd say would be functionally cashless by the end of 25. It'll just be a complete rarity. And we're already seeing that as well. So many people have so little change. I think April 2nd is National Cash Day or International Cash Day. So withdraw some cash just to annoy the banks, just to be able to push back a little bit, because it's legal tender, at least here in Australia, and it doesn't feel like it. Now, base politician, pretty interesting. Hey, do those words go together? Is that a little bit of a conundrum? Maybe. Yeah, I understand. But Senator Alex Antic is fighting back against CBDCs here in Australia. He is doing the good fight. I don't think he's a Bitcoiner just yet. Now, I have reached out. If anyone can get me in contact with Senator Alex Antic, greatly appreciated. Put out a petition. He got 123,000 Australians to sign it, opposing Labor's digital ID bill. A centralised digital ID is a control mechanism for government, and in conjunction with central bank digital currencies and social credit scores would create a turnkey society. We'll listen to what Senator Alex Antic has to say there. It's nice to see. Politician-based politician, do they go together? I don't know, but I like what I'm hearing here. Regardless.
Well, on Wednesday, the Senate is set to debate the Albanese government's digital ID bill. And this is a bill I've been talking about for a long period of time. Many of you have heard me talking about it because mainly of my concern about where this heads. This is a bill at the moment that's pitched as though it is simply for your security. It'll set up a nice friendly ID system so that you can interact with government, you can interact with business. But I don't buy it. This is the first step, or the next step, in another long step towards a digital future, which you don't want. This could very comfortably be tied in with a central bank digital currency or with a social 100%. Credit score, but you need digital ID before you even get to that. So I've got a host of reservations about this, as do 124,000 Australians who signed my petition. 124,000 Australians who...
I'd like to know if it's 123 or 124. I would go with that because he's a politician. He's lying. I still think he's pretty base for what he's saying, but, you know, we said 123,000. He's saying 124,000. Politician, I don't know what side you want to be on. Let us know in the chat. 71,000, baby. It looks like that has just happened. We'll refresh the background. We'll have a look and we will play this not on, I don't even want to say the name, Coin360, but we'll jump into the charts very soon.
You asked me to send a letter to the Prime Minister raising concerns about this bill. That's what we're doing today. We're sending off this petition.
Gargoyles trolling me. What's that you say? You said something bad about the government? Well, we'll just turn off your money. We got a fed in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful. Please never disclose where you are, if you're holding any coin or not. Go for a boating field trip, yeah? Because just a real quick FYI, Steel, get your Bitcoin seed onto Steel. Do not store it on paper. That's absolute insanity. Like, if you're doing it, actually wake up to yourself. Like, that is the craziest thing that I've ever heard. You've worked so hard for it to be able to get that fat dough and you keep it on paper. Please wake up. This is $11 on Amazon. Maybe it's a little bit more. I don't care. Please go out today. Do yourself a favor. This is not a shield. This is not a sponsor. This is your freedom at stake. Steel minimum. Anyway, it is so important to be able to do that. We'll listen to the rest of the senator. Because he's base, we'll give this Polly a little bit of playroom today.
Thank you for those who signed it. I'll be speaking against this bill when it comes up later in the week, and stay tuned on that. We don't want this. We don't want this future.
Nobody wants that future, and to be able to prevent that future, to be able to have freedom, we've got Bitcoin, we've got hope. It is the joy, it is the truth, money, and over time. And it doesn't even take a long time. Your life changes so quickly when you're on that hard money standard. Bitcoin is so exciting. Make the most of it. It's TikTok, next block. This is going up forever. And somebody is asking for a little bit of a recap on Sydney. When we get into the comment section, I'll give you a little bit. It was just epic. It was so epic. Anyway, most governments, it's disgusting. The Trudeau government is using, oh my gosh, so the surveillance states are here. They are coming to a country where you're located, ladies and gentlemen, beyond a doubt. Trudeau government is using private social media surveillance company meltwater. And was it in the UK, that guy covered up his face and then the police came over and took a photo anyway? He wasn't doing anything wrong. He swore at him. They gave him a fine. Absolutely crazy. Without Bitcoin, the world's very nihilistic, eh? The asinine behaviour of these people. So, meltwater to track Canadians' post trends and opinion. The government is also allowing meltwater to StatsCan database of CDNs. Please read this. At Sean Clark, SEANCLARKE. Their X handle is like 2 lines down in the description. Please read that. They are coming. Be aware of it. You can opt out. You can buy Bitcoin. Let's jump in. We'll come back to that one here. What I want to see is the market cap, $1.39 trillion. We're heading to 1.4 trillion, baby. So let's see where Bitcoin is at right now. $71,009. TikTok, next block, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get rid of the one in the background because that is not correct. How epic is that? $71,000. Well done. Hopefully you bought that dip. It's like all the way down to what, 60-odd thousand? And let's have a look at the 7-day chart. Like how cool is this? It came down 67,000. Look at the 1 month chart. Like just in a month, look at that. $51,000. It's up 20K, baby. For every one Bitcoin, you're up $20,000 in the dirty Pacific pesos. Well, you're up even more in Pacific pesos, but in the US pesos, they're just absolutely amazing. But say like a week and a half ago, you're up 10K on your Bitcoin. It's pretty cool, hey? Put in $60, you've got $70. That's why you just need to keep buy, stack, and chill. Obviously, you're not selling it. I understand that, but it is reaffirming. Red button, green button, make the most of it. This thing, it's still cheap. It's so highly undervalued. It's only at a $1.39 trillion market cap. We still need to take out gold, ladies and gentlemen, and it's absolutely inevitable. Time frame, no idea. Now, legends. Good to see you. That was the news with the fast facts. If you haven't already, and we vibe, hit the subscribe button. Greatly appreciate everyone in the chat. We're going to get into a little bit of a banter if you want to hang around. This is one of my favorite parts. This is the favorite part of the stream, to be honest, to be able to hang out, say hi to all you legends. Let us know where you are in the world and what's top of mind this morning, the evening. If you can't think of anything, what are you grateful for watching? I'm grateful for every single one of you. To be able to see the sunrise in the next 15 minutes, to have the sand under my feet. Yesterday to go for a walk in the rain with my wife and my 2 beautiful puppy dogs. How does it get any better and what else is possible? So, good morning, you legends. Let's g'day savages. I like that time chain, man. Be savage at Stack and Sats. Buy as much as you can. Sean, why don't you run for Prime Minister in Australia and pull a Bukele on them? Maybe in time to come. But it's just such a farce, isn't it? And anyone that gets into it, they just kick him out. Anyone that's trying to do anything good to be able to change it. No, I'm not going for Prime Minister. I could not think of something that would weigh down so much on my soul. It would be nice, like it's good to see people like Senator Alex Antic pushing back against CBDCs, people fighting to retain cash. Maybe we need to start up an incentive to go more. They're pretty good with Bitcoin, truly, in Australia. Not at the status of allowing it to be legal tender, but they class it as property. So it's not too bad here. Would be nice for them to be transparent, put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. It'd fix the problem that they're having there. Will they do it? No, they do not want transparency. They want control. Anyway, I like that time chain. Man, Gargoyle, you are a legend. Nice to see the pump. As one of the biggest S-coiners would say, you got to respect the pump, and I happen to agree with him on that. Respect the pump, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it, make the most of it, but whether it's red, green, grey's when it's neutral, hit the buy button. Buy it when it's low, buy it when it's high, and just keep stacking self-custody. Now, VT Gothic, g'day from Vermont, one of the most beautiful places in the entire world, you lucky bugger. Glad to make it live. I'm grateful that you are here live. You cannot enslave the human souls, and with Bitcoin, we can save our souls in time and pass that on to our kids as F you money, baby. I need to come over here because that's the sound of freedom. I love that. Lucky red fish, always a pleasure. I want a laundry mat mommy, like a laundry mat mum. Please explain that to me, Johnny Midas. I have no idea what that means. Can somebody else in the chat that's not Johnny Midas please speculate on what Johnny Midas is referring to? I think it sounds like I want a laundromat money, but mummy, please let us know. Strange, real strange. Like you're looking for someone to like wash and fold your clothes. If so, I don't know. Make a whole lot of Bitcoin and allow your wife, your partner, the freedom to be at home full time. Otherwise, jump in there and help out with the household chores. And even so, do that because you wear the clothes. Anyway, Johnny Midas, I have no idea. That's a little bit of fun this morning. We've been front running BlackRock for a year for the last 14. Let them pump our bags. Love it, Keith. Jan, g'day. Welcome to the dystopian future of a cashless society. Yeah, unless you're on the Bitcoin standard. That's what I really dove into with Eric Kaysen. Whoa. Like, talk about a mind. Talk about someone that's really dove deep, like deeper than deep down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. That's Eric Kaysen, his mind, where he goes, where he's went, where he's been. Wow. Mind blown. That interview that's coming out, it's like both Eric Kaysen and Michael Dunworth, it's like sitting in front of a fire hose, turning on the fire hose, opening your mouth, and then just being blasted and just trying to drink it all in. Like absolutely insane. You end up on your back. They want them left on the exchanges so they can steal them. Necessity is the plea for every infringement of human freedom. It is the argument of tyrants. It is the creed of slaves. Do you reckon we hit 72 today? Let us know in the chat, yes or no. Say 72. Yeah, that's pretty, well, I guess it's the end of the day, but it's only 6:09 a.m. here, ladies and gentlemen. So after hours, do you reckon we hit 72K, 73K, 74? Maybe we're going 85,000. I don't think overnight, ladies and gentlemen, but I reckon we might see a pretty volatile, fun, enjoyable week. Both red and green. I would like it to go red personally. It's too early in the cycle for this to be pumping too much. Anyway, smash those likes. Just sent that Fred Krueger video to Sean on X. I will check it out. And with Fred Krueger, I've had him on here. He's getting a lot of pushback and stuff, and I do not agree with a lot of things, but there are some things that I do like hearing his opinion on. Oh, and just an FYI, Mark Yusko, tomorrow morning, same time, we'll be live here on the channel. If you've got any questions, tag me on X. Oh, there's some comments like from 2 weeks ago that I haven't replied to because they've got some great comments to ask Mark Yusko. So if I haven't replied to you and you dropped that comment 2 weeks ago, they're the only comments I haven't responded to apart from anything in the last 24 hours. Drop them in the comment section after the live or tag me on X and rock up for that. Should be pretty interesting. Guy's made a whole lot of money, about $500 million, I believe, and has been traditional finance for a long time. Into Bitcoin, into the garbage as well, but we'll make it stick to Bitcoin and what's happening on the TradFi side of things. 1 billy, 1 trilly, 1 bitty. Make sure you are stacking those bitties, baby. I mentioned last week that I only buy the top. It looks like I'll be cracking open the piggy bank again soon. TM Permaculture understands how it is. Takes 32,000 years to count to 1 trillion. Let that sink in. G'day from Norway. Neil, good to see you. What brand of node would be the best? The Stark 9 are pretty good. Really clean. Plug and play. Would you rather have 1 Bitcoin or 1 million USD that you could not invest? One Bitcoin. Easy. But I wouldn't invest it anyway, so I'd take the 1 million. I'd sell it for Bitcoin. Is that a workaround? That's what I'd do. F the bug, stack sats, and eat a kangaroo burger. Kangaroo is actually really, really, really good. Really good. I haven't had it for a little while, but I've eaten a lot of kangaroo. Very high in protein, very gamey, but it's really nice, very flavorful. US Congress just spent about another 1.2 trillion that we don't have. Absolutely amazing. Gonna have to race through. I do not want to miss this sunrise, ladies and gentlemen. It's the best. Get your sun. Get the sun in your eyes. It's the most important part of your day. We will dive into the highlights, Dan, but absolutely incredible. Habib, Australia's immigration communities will resist against going cashless. If you go to Western City, places like Maryland or Blackdown, there are many immigrant businesses that only accept cash. Yeah, but they don't have a choice. But it's probably good for the Bitcoin adoption here in Australia. We'll give you a discount if you use cash. Not going to be able to get through to everything, but Chris is saying okay with 100K. Ask Mark what a variant perception means. He explains it so well. Ask Mark what a variant perception means. He explains it so well. Diesel, can you tag me on X with that question as well, just so I don't miss it? That's a fantastic question. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all incredible people. If you haven't already, and we vibe, just smash the subscribe button. Hit the like button. It's very easy. It helps get the message out there. Share it on X if you want to. But most importantly, go out there, do something nice. Number one, for yourself. Number two, for a stranger. And enjoy the great outdoors. Have a beautiful day. Be blessed. Peace. And enjoy life. Stack sats and chill.